Hello, how are you doing? I'm here today to do some logo redesigns. So if you've followed me for a while, you'll know that I've done a couple of these videos before. I will leave them linked on screen and in the description. But basically what I've done is I asked my Instagram followers to send me their logos, give me a little bit of an idea of what their business is, any ideas that they might already like, and then I'm going to attempt to redesign their logos and I'll send them back to them for free. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So coming over to Adobe Illustrator, you'll see that I've got 6 different artboards and we've got 3 different logos that I'm going to redesign. So the first one I'm going to do is this one. So this is the existing logo. It's a Depop brand. She sent all these images on the left of ideas that she likes, and she says she seems to not be able to kind of get the logo right, and I love the colourful vibes. This is really like speaking to me, so we're going to do that. There's also this one, which is a band logo called Honey Blue, and they're an alternative rock band. Now I know nothing about rock bands, so I've like looked into it a little bit. I've done a very rough sketch and we're going to give that a go too. And then finally we will be doing this one, which is Simply Lauren Studios. Really colourful, a little bit more simple, and I really love the initial concept already, like the existing logo. I'm just going to kind of spruce it up in my way and see if we can make it look cool. So they're the logos we're going to do. First up, we're going to do this one. And yeah, you can kind of see the vibe she likes. I love the colours, I love the boldness, and it's kind of quirky looking. It's almost psychedelic-esque. I was trying to think of how to describe this style. I can see like a clear theme, but I'm not quite sure what it's called. If you know, let me know. But I sketched this in about 30 seconds on my iPad, and I'm thinking some kind of blocky letters. Maybe I will warp them slightly and I'll add some flowers and stuff in the background, and then I think I might play around with some different colours to have in either the background or within the text itself. So let's just get straight into it. So what I've done so far is I've downloaded some fonts. So this is one of them. It's Cooper Standard. Most of my fonts are from Adobe fonts. Gotta love them. So going to recently added, I have downloaded quite a few actually. I have this one, Jai Parody, which I thought was quite cool. We've got Shuriken Boy Standard. I should stop trying to say these really, shouldn't I? Then Mobley Serif, Beastly, and I think I'm going to leave it at that. So straight up, I don't like this one. I feel like it's quite hard to read. And I don't like this one. It kind of reminds me of like Texas, like cowboy vibes. Don't know why Texas came to mind. So I'm gonna go with, I actually really like this one. I feel like it's got a little bit of retro edge to it, and I feel like we can make it fun. So I'm gonna stick with that one. My aim for this video is to not dwell on things. I'm a serial perfectionist and I never fully like the work that I do, which often leads me to just kind of giving up and not doing it. But we're not going to do that in this video. We're going to stick to it, and I'm actually going to make something that hopefully will look nice. So what I'm going to do is I've just copied over a version. I'm going to save that up there just so I don't lose what font it is. And what I want to do is create outlines. I'm not going to like go through step by step what I'm doing, because that's a whole other series in itself. I'm just going to sort of do it, but check out my other Adobe Illustrator style videos if you want tutorials, and also I have an Adobe Illustrator online course which is always linked in the description. Gotta get that shameless self-promo in there, you know. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to click the subscribe button and join my little creative family. So I'm going to go to object, envelope, distort, and I'm going to make with, let's go with warp to begin with. So I want to add some sort of stylization to it. I don't want it to just be the font that I got off the website, you know, I want to make it my own. So I'm thinking if I add a little bit of a wave to it, that's a fun way of adding a slight tweak. So let's go with that. I quite like that. And then I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna do another warp actually and see if I can play around with it. Or is it just gonna reset? It's just gonna reset, isn't it? But yeah, you can see the options in here. I'm gonna stick with wave, which sort of waves the inside. Let's expand that. Then maybe add some sort of like ripple onto it. So I guess we could do this in effects and distort and transform. See, all of these, I know they're not going to really work. Like these add like actual ripples onto the strokes rather than using like the letter as a whole, if that makes any sense. So I don't know, like if I press done on that, you can kind of see like that's not the vibe I was going for. So maybe I'm just gonna copy this down so I don't ruin it. Maybe if I do envelope, distort, make with mesh, I don't want that many columns. Let's not overcomplicate things. Maybe I could add my own little adjustments. So if I drag these either way, is this gonna work? Let's see. I feel like this could work. This could be too much, but we've got to experiment. And like that. So we have the original up top and then the waved one. I'm gonna keep them both because I feel like there's pros and cons to both of them, and I'm very indecisive. Alongside being a bit of a perfectionist, I also can never make a decision, which is a great combination. So let's go envelope distort. I'm gonna expand them. Okay, so we've got those. Now, if I just move back over to the inspiration, I want to make some sort of funky background. Now, I was going to sort of cheat this and try and download a background royalty free and use that, but I can't work out what to search to find something like this and like this. So we're just going to have to wing it, just figure out what's happening. I think I might actually go into Photoshop. I'm going to take these two colours because I really like them, and obviously the client does, and I'm going to try and warp them into something that looks quite fun. So let's open Photoshop. I'm going to drag in the logo and I'm just going to pick up those colours and save them to my library so I've got them. So let's just go to that one. Cool, so I've saved the colours in my library on the right, and I guess we just make like stripes. I'm not going to pretend I actually know what's happening because I don't. Never done anything like this before, but that's what design is about. It's about experimenting, hoping for the best. Let's see if this works. I don't know. Right, and pink, send you to the back. Okay, so we've got some shapes. This is not what I wanted. These have got outlines on them. Can we not? I don't want any stroke on them. I might need to add more stripes into that, but we'll just kind of use this as an experiment. So I'm going to go to filter. No, I should probably flatten the image, shouldn't I? That would help. Or create a smart object. Convert to smart object. And filter, distort, ripple. Okay, so this would ripple the edges. That's not what I want. Filter, distort, pinch. See what that does? That's a start. Filter, distort, polar coordinates. Can you tell I've not really ever used this? What? No, I don't want that. How about shear? Move this. That did barely anything. Wave. Ah, this might be where it works. So, number of generators. Okay, that's like crazy. Wavelength. Ooh. I don't want it to be so perfect though. Like, I want it to be quite abstract looking. This is gonna go crazy. Hang on, let's adjust that. This is why I put a smart filter on. No, I don't like you. Zigzag? This could work. I feel like there's gonna be like professionals out there screaming at me because I'm doing it weird. But I've literally never done anything in this style, so it is all experimentation. And after all, that's what design is for. So we zigzag this. I don't want many ridges. Cool, this is what I wanted. Okay, filter, distort, zigzag. Let's apply that again. I quite like this. This is working. I'm going to stick with that for now and just see what happens. I'll copy this over. So I'm thinking maybe cut this out. I actually think I might stick with the non-waved title because I feel like waving both of them might be a bit too much, but I mean, we can always revisit it. So maybe doing this. I don't love the black on top of this. So we need to think of a different colour vibe. Orange looks cool. Purple. Quite like that actually, like a peach, maybe with a stroke, like a black stroke, because there's a few designs in here that have a black stroke, which looks quite fun. Around the edges. Could be a vibe. I'm thinking of a few options here. So let's zoom in. So I'm thinking I could, similar to this actually, cut out a circle, or I could use the text and do it that way. So if I copy this over, copy the image over, or the background, whatever you want to call it, and then make a compound path like that. See what I'm going for? And then maybe you could add the stroke again, and maybe you could do different versions of it, so it didn't always have to be with the like waves on the inside of the text. Maybe sometimes it could be the opposite. So add a little circle, fill it with the orange. Do I hate it? This is a poor excuse, but because this is so far from what I'm used to, it's interesting, like sort of navigating it. Let's blob brush. I'm gonna make some flowers, like super rough flowers. Hang on. Bring that circle in here. I prefer that, you know, the left one. I quite like the idea of having the stroke in a colour. I don't know how well that would work. Possibly like yellow. I like that. Okay, we're gonna scrap this idea. I don't like that anymore. Then adding these onto it make it look weird. Maybe we can put these in like a deep blue sort of colour, or do this in white. Something's thrown me off and I can't work out what it is. I think it's the black, you know, like the black colour. That thing I said right at the beginning, I'm not quite sure on it. Maybe if I add like a drop shadowy style thing. Drop shadow. No, drop shadow is not the one. I'm struggling. Maybe I'll have to revisit this further down in the video once I've done the other ones. As you've seen, I've been playing around with some different ideas, and at this point I think I've been staring at it for too long. So I'm going to leave it. We're going to go on to the next one, and then hopefully we can revisit that one and improve it. So for this next one, I'm thinking something along the lines of this. Meet my very poor drawing. And I want it to be a bit of an angle like the strokes one. I want to maybe incorporate this sort of dripping effect that's in the background, maybe add some texture, quite bold, dark colours, and we'll sort of go from there. So first up, let's get the fonts. So I've downloaded some from Envato, and I also have like Adobe fonts on here. So we have and then there is Parlor, which is Pittsburgh Serif or Sans. I'm gonna go with Sans because the font they currently have is Sans as well. So I want to try and like not go too far away from that idea. And then there's also one more that I've written down. And then there's also Hanover. Okay, so straight up, don't like that one. Once again, quite like the idea of this one, this like lightning bolt effect. I don't like this one, it's too thin. I want something quite blocky. This one looks a bit plain for my liking. That's quite nice, and that's quite nice. Okay, this one looks a bit too sleek and refined for a rock band, so we're going to get rid of that one. Maybe we could combine these two. So let's just make them bigger. I really like the idea of the bee for this one, so maybe we could replicate that in here. So before I like outline them properly, let's just pretend I have. Maybe I could like draw this in here. Maybe like this. Okay, let's duplicate this over so I don't lose it. I'm going to create outlines. And then we shall ungroup, and I want to change this. So I guess the easiest way is just to use the eraser. Probably not the most efficient, but here we are. This is what I like to do. Sort of like that. Let's just rearrange this and we'll line this up. If I zoom out, I've sort of combined both. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of you. I like that whole font idea. Let's just merge those together to begin with. Pathfinder, merge. Now we have those joined together. And okay, so I can either leave them all lined up like that, or I can split the words, so we could have honey and then underneath blue. We could join them. Yes, if we join them, and then we can do a little iteration of it, like with these. So obviously at the moment all these letters are separate, so I can nudge them around. So maybe I feel like I should nudge this up a little bit, just so the N and the U join together. This is literally the tracking, which I probably should have done before I created the outlines, but we live and learn. I haven't done that, so I will. You sort of see. Is that too neat? Honey blue. I think it's too neat. Maybe if I just add a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room. We'll go from here. I do like it much more when it's on top of each other, so let's get rid of these. Then I wanted to sort of add an angle on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with this theme because I feel like the font might not work like that, but we'll give it a go. So copy it down so I don't ruin it. Object, I want to compound path, and I want to envelope, distort, make with warp. So it's the same sort of principle as last time, but I can do it as a rise and sort of have it so it steps up a little bit. But I don't know if I like that. Let's have a look. No, I'm going to stick with it. I like that. Okay, now I'm going to add a circle. I want to put it in a circle. I want it to be black. Is that pure black? Nope. And we're just going to up the stroke so it's quite thick. Just thinking out loud here, aren't I? I'm just like babbling on. I want to incorporate that drip thing that they have. Let's just roughly pretend I'm cutting out around where these letters are, you know, so I can sort of see as if the circle wasn't fully connected. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hopefully once I have done this you'll see why. So if I just do that, send to the back. Yeah, so you can sort of see-ish what it would look like. There's something up with the spacing. Do you know what it is? I think it's that Y. I think it's too far out. So let's get rid of that rise for now. The more I'm looking at this, the more I don't love that font. What was that other one that I said was a bit too sleek? It's literally this one, the one that I've just got. What if we sort of adapt this one? So first up, let's put blue on the same line, align it center. I don't know, there was just something about that. It looks a bit stretched, it looks a bit long. So maybe I just need to stick with this. Yeah, I don't like this. I like the B, but that's about it. So maybe again we could sort of create that vibe with the B on here. So alright, I'm enjoying this one more already. So we've customized the B, Pathfinder to join them together. I feel like this fits a lot better than that. I don't know what was off about that, but something was off. It was annoying me. I'm going to align them perfectly in the centre, but then I don't know if it'll like actually look okay. So they're perfectly aligned to each other in the centre. Or do we mix it up and do it like that? I think we'll do both. Let's do both. So let's just copy this down. I'm going to try like the wave thing, but I don't think it's going to work even more so on this one because the font is so like straight and rigid. I just don't think it'll work, but I'm going to try it anyway just so I've tried it. So let's go object, envelope, distort, make warp, and only very slightly. Do you know what? Maybe I should eat my words. I don't hate it. Right, I'm going to try and find some sort of drip effect thing that I can overlay on it and then make it look like as if the words have been cut out. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I'll see you in a second when I've hopefully found a background. So I've actually found this, which I feel like sort of symbolises those melt drippy things from the original, but does it in more like of a graphical way. So I'm gonna copy this and paste it in here, and either like they have, I guess, use it as a background, or similar to the previous logo that I was attempting to design, not in the background, like do it as an overlay. So let's just expand this, make sure it's on a compound path, and see what a clipping mask will look like. This might look weird, but it might not. No, that doesn't work. I ended up having to apply it as a pattern because it just wasn't playing ball, but I don't like that. Gonna go back to the drawing board, and what I'm gonna do is put them next to each other like this. Let's get rid of this circle. I want to compound path them, and I want to cut them. In here somewhere, and I'm really bad at finding things in this menu, there is the knife tool. I've got rid of the compound path option, and I'm just gonna, oops, not do that. Draw like a squiggly line through it. So it looks like we have to ungroup everything. So what I'm gonna do, select all the bottom ones and separate them. Sort of like that. I mean, it kind of looks like I've just drawn a line over the top of it. It doesn't actually look like that took a lot of effort. And then maybe make the top half like a deep blue sort of ish shade, and then the bottom half like a green, like a mucky green. I'm getting a little bit of ocean vibes, not gonna lie. I'm gonna revisit this. Maybe we could do like a lightning bolt or put it in a circle thing and go from there. So let's try again. Make a circle, do there. Let's do that thing in the background again so we can sort of see what will get chopped out before we actually chop it out. It's the balance of this, like the Y is making it look like the balance is off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend these two parts of the Y. And then, hopefully, in theory, this makes it fit together better. So let me just move this up a little bit so we can see. Now that says honey bluey. Wow, my brain's really not working today. Am I okay? We're ditching the circle. I'm gonna do maybe 2 lines. So do them as black strokes, one above the other. Actually, let's warp it first. So object, envelope, distort, make with warp, rise. Let's sort of mirror the rise in it like that. Top 2. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I don't hate it anymore. This blue at the bottom doesn't look straight, so maybe in this case I need to completely ignore the alignment and just go for it myself. You know, like just align it by eye. Sometimes that sort of thing does happen. So highlight the blue. I'm gonna move it along. So it's sort of these kind of vibes, I guess, the strokes vibes. Maybe we could add in, this might be a bit too much, but it's worth a shot. Quite like that. This top one doesn't look lined up again. So I'm going to get rid of these two and this. And we're going to work with this. I'm going to make some different versions of it. So I want to use the HB, and we can join them together, maybe like this. That would be quite fun. HB. I really like that. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Again, I guess we could do these lines, like put a line underneath and a line above to sort of imitate what it is already. I need to expand these. I should probably have done that before. Alright, what do I think to this? Now again, it is quite specific, like you wouldn't know unless you knew. But I feel like that could be a good little symbol to put on the back of their albums or stuff like that. Let's get some colours. So I would like 4 colours. I would like one to be sort of a deep grey. I want a deep blue, then a deep green, like a mucky sort of green, and then almost a gold. Yeah, okay, I like those colours. In fact, I might download like an album mock-up and then play around with it like that and put the colours in that way, because then I can sort of see it in situ. Whilst my mock-up is downloading, I've just been inspired. I've just seen in this mock-up that I've downloaded this like cool effect in the background. Something like that, possibly. You'll see in the mock-up in a second. I don't know if this even makes any sense. So this, you see, with the lines in the background, this is cool. I like this. So we can adjust this. Let's get rid of the text for now. And then you could import this logo here. So I'm just going to paste it in for now because I'm lazy. Change the size. Want to put it in white. Maybe white won't work, but we can see. Maybe something like that. Let's save that out. I'll put it in an actual mock-up and we'll see how it works. And you guys can let me know what you think because I'm sort of losing my mind at this point. Okay, so here's the mock-up. I feel like I need to revisit this, you know? I feel like this is one of those cases where I need to sleep on it and look at it tomorrow. Give me a feedback. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Go back into Illustrator. Maybe it needs some sort of texture on it. I don't know. I just feel like something's missing. You know, like just something to add a bit of texture on it. You know, like that. Bit of grit. Does that make any sense? You see? You know, like with a bit of something. I don't know. I'm going to leave this one here because I've been staring at it for too long, like I said. Let's move on to the third one. Well done to you if you're still watching this video after all this rambling. And hopefully this one will be a more simple one. So this is Simply Lauren Studios. She has a wonderful colour theme already. And I'm just going to spice it up a little bit. I feel like she says she enjoys this font, but I feel like we can make it look a little bit more professional while still keeping the sort of handwritten font. So I'm going to go in, as always, and do the font first. So we've got three fonts. We've got Chauncey, which is like a fun handwritten-esque marker pen sort of font. We've got Marydale, not Maryland. And we've also got Bad Dog. And again, the tracking and the spacing on this are weird. So let's just do that. All right, so these are currently all in capitals. So let's just turn that off. I didn't realize that was on. And straight up, I quite like this one actually, or this one. I don't like that one. It's between these two. I'm gonna go with this one. So we'll commit to that. And I'm just gonna, regroup them into words and we'll just rearrange them slightly. Just gonna nudge this down, maybe make it a touch smaller. So we're gonna change the colours. We're gonna stick to sort of a similar vibe with the colours she's chosen, but I'm gonna make them a bit brighter because I feel like we can make things brighter. I love bright colours. So we're gonna choose the 4 colours that she has and then just make them brighter. And what I'm going to do, I think I can go into object or edit colours and possibly make them brighter. There we go. So I'm just literally same sort of colour palette, brightening them up. Then I'm going to go with something like this. Rather than having it in a square, I want to create some sort of blobs effectively in a circle. Or in fact, I could probably do both. Yeah, I reckon I could do both. Maybe I should just use the pencil tool. Fill that with one of the colours, and then the pencil tool, fill that with another colour again, and then orange will do for the background. In fact, that orange does not look good in the background. So I'm thinking sort of along those vibes. Mine add a different colour in the background, but if I draw a circle over this, I'm gonna crop it in, and then we can adjust these shapes to sort of fit within the circle. Maybe something like that. Then I'd bring over the text, make it a little bit smaller, make it white, and there we have the sort of first way of doing it. Possibly need to darken the yellow just so it stands out. So let's just go in and just darken that a touch like that. I think that looks cool. Or similar to like this one, we could use a square. We can put the logo, or the text should I say, on top, then add another square. So I've just copied and pasted it in front, change it to just the outline, change that to white too. Let's center everything. Then again, with the pencil tool, draw some random blobs. I might make this like a baby pink, more like that pink, or even this kind of grey shade. It's a little bit too light, you can't really see what's going on. Let's stick with the pink. So one blob, then yellow, maybe add some yellow up here, some orange, and some pink. Bring these bits back to the front so they're not getting hidden, and put that all in a clipping mask. Then obviously again we can nudge the colours, change the shapes of them, the size, and like always I'd sort of tweak this to whatever the client was happy with. In fact, I'm going to put that in blue too. So again, similar sort of vibes. Then completely contrasting with that, you could use just the text. I'm just going to put it all in one colour to start with. I'm going to ungroup all of it and do literally each letter in a different colour, like so. Or last one, otherwise this video will be like hours long if it isn't already. Or we could do this, so similar to this one, and copy them down, put them like not in full black but like a dark grey sort of vibe. Then what I'm going to do is actually copy over these blobs, put them behind, and then we can adjust these. Maybe choose a couple of them, maybe sort of the pink and the yellow. Get rid of those. I prefer it much better in white, but you see what I'm going for? Possibly something like that. I think the one I prefer out of the three is the one in the circle. I feel like these two definitely need some development, but you can sort of see the vibe we're going for. Again, I'm gonna let you guys take the reins. You can tell me what you think, tell me what you do. I feel like today my brain's a little bit stuck, so yeah, maybe imposter syndrome, doubting myself, I don't know, but yeah, let me know. Let's just quickly revisit this first one. Let me see what I think of this one before we leave. Straight up, what do we prefer? I do like this purple and the orange together. I feel like that's really bold. Maybe we could change this to purple and orange. Put that in the green and add a flower. But put the flower in maybe like a blue. This one I feel like is the trickiest one. I'm going to leave this video here because I feel like I spent the whole video sort of doubting my design skills, and at this point I feel like I've got no design skills left. So let me know, maybe at some point in another video, or maybe on like Instagram, we can revisit these. I will save them and we'll see. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video nonetheless, and I'll see you next time for another one. Bye!